Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Deivi Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, chapter 16, verses 1, 2, and 3. We have seen about four Deivi Sampads, that is fearlessness, purity of mind, Jnana Yoga Vivastitiki, and then Dana. These four we have seen. Now, fifth Sampad we have to see, that is Dama. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Prabhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Dhanam Dhamascha Yajnascha Swadhyayastabharjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodha Tyagashantirabaishunam Daya Bhudeshvaloluptvam Mardavam Rirachabalam Tejashamadrudishaucham Adrogo Nadimanida Bhavanti Sampadam Deivim Abhijadasya Bharatam. Now Dama. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says Dama means control at the level of the organs of perception and organs of action. It is alertness with reference to your mind. Dhamma should be there in everything, whether it is walking, sleeping, eating, speaking, anything you take. Dhamma should be there. That is what Swami Dayananda Saraswati says. Swami Chinmayananda says it is like dana, the application of same spirit of sacrifice in one's personal life. To indulge in sense pleasures without any control is to waste the total human vitality unproductively. One should economize the energy, and that energy can be used for higher purpose. This energy, the saved energy, can be used by the mind and intellect to set on the path of meditation. To keep the mind tuned up to the self, a subtle energy is required. It is to be discovered within by controlling the sense pleasures or sense excesses. Swami Chinmayananda says, without dana and dhamma, the pilgrimage to the truth will only be a dream. That is what Swami Chinmayananda says. Now, Kanji Paramacharya's explanation. That is wonderful, wonderful explanation on this. Yesterday I said there is an interesting story that is given by Kanji Paramacharya from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. For Brahmaji, Devas, Manushyas and Asuras, all are children. Because he is the creator. He only created the Manushyas, he only created the Devas, he only created the Asuras. So he is the father of all. So they are children. Once Devas went to Brahmaji and asked for a Upadesha, that is advice. Please give us some advice. They wanted it to be brief. So Brahmaji said, only one letter, the. This is the Upadesha. And he said, you understand it. Paramacharya says, each one's heart will know about his mistakes. So if somebody advises him in a secret way, he will understand what is his mistake and he will correct. Devas, they are in the Devaloka. It is a heaven, pleasure world. So they do not have sense control. So Devas understood the letter the as Damyata, meaning Dhamma. Simply put, meaning Dhamma. That is, Devas understood the abbreviated advice of Brahmaji, the letter the, as Damyata, or control of sense organs. Dhamma. Simply put, Dhamma. Control of understand. Control of sense organs. So they went and told Brahmaji, so we understood as Dama. Brahmaji said, "You are right. Perfect. Go." Then, on hearing this, Manushas went to Brahmaji. They said, "You please give us some advice. We are also your children." Again, Brahmaji said, "The Manushas understood the word the letter the, as datta, meaning charity. Manushya's nature, the nature of all the human beings, is that they don't give away their wealth in charity. Mostly. Because our nature is to acquire, possess, and enjoy to the exclusion of others. So they understood the letter the as datta, that is, give charity. They went and told Brahmaji, we understood as datta. Brahmaji said, "You are right, correct, you go and do that." Then Asuras, on hearing this, they also went to Brahmaji. You advise Devas, you advise Manushas, you give advice to me." Brahmaji again said, "The Asuras are merciless people. They won't mind doing any harm to anybody for their enjoyment. They are least bothered. In fact, sometimes we also possess that. I think now all human beings have become Asuras. I'm sorry to say. But Asuras are, generally put, they are merciless people. So they said the means, they understood the means dayatvam, that is, show mercy or be kind to others. They understood the same letter, the, as dayatvam. Brahmaji, they went and told Brahmaji, Brahmaji said, "Your understanding is also correct." Today also, if you think this is a story, so this can happen or may not happen. No, today also, suppose if a sports person shows two fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, raising it in the V shape, then people think that he is showing the sign of victory. If it is said to a person who is reading Bhagavad Gita, he will think two things are required in life: Viveka and Vairagya. So people may interpret according to their nature. That is what I am trying to say. Even this Brihadaranya Upanishad, it also says the same thing. Kanchi Paramacharya says the word Dama and Shama have the same meaning. If you take the direct meaning, it is only control. The one always includes the other. When somebody says Shama, it includes Dama. When somebody says Dama, it includes Shama. Bhagavan Krishna in this verse says Dama, but it will also include Shama. So that is the point. Now, what is Shama? Shama is Virajya Vishaya Viradat Dosha Drishtya Mugur Mugugu Swalakshaye Niyatavastha Manasa Shama Uchyate. This is the meaning given by Paramacharya. That is, human beings have five senses. All these five senses take them towards sense objects and are a hindrance in the path of realization. Hence, by Viveka and Vairagya, one has to understand and appreciate this, and should Mugur Mugugu, the word used is Mugur Mugugu, that is, time and again, every time, you should see the dosha, that is dosha drishtya. Appreciate that they are working against us. These sense organs, the sense pleasures, they are working against us in the path of realization. And then virajya, that is, one must hate them and reject their demands. This is the meaning. So one must every time and again, mugugu, appreciate that these sense organs, these sense pleasures are an hindrance in the path of realization and must hate and reject them. That is the meaning of Shama. Our manas, the nature of our manas, will always think about the sense pleasures and will go after them. That is why we do not have peace of mind. If we are able to control the manas that runs like the untamed horses into different sense fields or pleasures, then if we control those horses, we can study the mind in the path of realization of Atma. That control of Manas is called Shama Uchyate. That is Shama, control of Manas. The reason for the Manas to run after sense pleasures, why? Why this Manas is running after the sense pleasures? That question, if it comes, the answer is it is because of the vasanas. Janma after janma, the vasanas gets accumulated. And already we have seen when the Atma leaves the body, it takes along with it all the things which are there in the body. In the Sukshma Sarira, everything is collected and it enters into the new body. So then it starts seeking pleasures, sense pleasures. Hence, to reject the vasanas and control the manas is Shama. Dama already we have seen, but a little more on that is required. Kanji Paramacharya says it consists of karmendriyas and jnanendriyas. Already Swami Dayananda Saraswati said this. Karmendriyas we all know, hands, legs, mouth, genitals and anus. Jnanendriyas also we know, eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. They are the antennas. They perceive the objects and then send it to the mind. These senses have to be controlled. Each indriya creates a desire to this jiva, and because of that desire, we are unable to realize the Atma. They are hindrance on the path of Atma, realization of Atma. Unless one controls these senses, it is impossible to enter into the path of Atma Loka, on the path of realization of Atma. Hence, control of senses is Dhamma. As already said, direct meaning of Shama and Dhamma means control. Simply put, it is control. Even if one is said, it includes the other. Paramacharya says the control of Manas, Shama is more important. You can close your eyes. You can keep cotton in your ears. If they keep cotton in your nose, then it is something different. Then there is no Manas or there is no Karmendriyas or Jnanendriyas. Both are gone. So you can keep cotton in your ears. You may be able to control your tongue, hands and legs. But it is extremely difficult to control the Manas. Manas, it will go on tempting you about the sense pleasures. Either enjoyed or what you have seen, it will keep you engaged by thinking on that. If you control Manas, then you can control the organs of actions. That is why it is always said Shama and Dhamma. Shama is first, followed by Dhamma. Manas control will come only at a later stage. It is not very easy, especially for people like me. It is very difficult. Even though it may remain as if controlled for some time. Sometimes you will think it is controlled. Suppose, for example, he gives this, Kanji Paramacharya gives this example. If you decide not to eat sweets, let us assume, for some days, as long as you don't see the sweet, you don't smell the sweet, you will be looking like controlled. But you go to some marriage where the favorite sweet is served, then immediately, without any hesitation, you will take that sweet, eat that sweet. Manas, when it is not seeing or smelling or the senses is not looking at the desired objects, it may look as if it is controlled. But once the objects are seen or felt, then it will make you enjoy these sense pleasures. That is the beauty of Manas. Even though it looks controlled for some time, but once the field is there, it is like a dam, the water is closed. Once the dam is open, water flows like anything. The current is more. That is what Paramacharya says. In Kathopanishad, the allegory is given. The picture. Jiva is the one which we have seen. Represents the Bhagavad Gita. The first picture of Bhagavad Gita in all the Bhagavad Gita books, if you see, it will be a chariot Arjuna sitting in a chariot and Krishna holding the reins. So the meaning is already we know, even then it is given by Paramacharya. Again I am giving it. Jiva is the one sitting in the chariot. Body is the chariot. Buddhi is the charioteer. Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna. The horses are Indriyas. The rein is the Manas. Buddhi, it is strong because of Viveka and Vairagya. It should run the horses in the path of Atma, realization of Atma. The Buddhi has to control the horses and run them in the right direction. Then the goal will be achieved. That is the picture of Bhagavad Gita, which we all know. Then Kanchi Paramacharya says, he gives the example how this man is facing such a huge difficulty for controlling the sense organs. The deer meets its end because of sound. The hunter gives a particular sound and the deer falls for it. So it gets caught. Elephant, it gets caught by touch of a female elephant. The firefly, it dies by seeing the fire and gets attracted by it. The fish gets caught because it is offered a small worm as its food. The bee gets attracted by smell and then gets caught in that flower, and finally it dies. But human beings have all these five senses. So he pities how this human being will, if one is controlled, you will lose your you will lose yourself in the other sense. So it is very, very difficult to control. Then he says, Vishayebhya Paravartya Sthapanam Swasvakolake Upayesham Indriyanam Sa Dama Parikirtitaha. He quotes this verse. That is, this verse says the Indriyas have to be kept in their place, in its own place. That is Dama. Paramacharya asks, why here it is said the Indriyas should be kept in their place instead of control the Indriyas? I am not giving word by word meaning for this verse, even though it is given there. Just for our purpose, for our understanding. Indriyas have to be kept in their place. Why it is said like that? Why it is not said it should be controlled? Dhamma. Paramacharya says, if Dhamma is understood as not seeing anything, not hearing anything, not tasting anything, then one cannot live in this world. He has to die. The cotton should be kept in the nose, not in the ears. You have to die. Otherwise, it is not possible. Because sense organs will naturally go towards the sense objects. Hence, all these are necessary, but it should not cross its limit. Lakshman Rekha, you should not cross. All these should be properly used. So you cannot avoid complete eating, then you will die. You have to eat, but to live. So he says, control yourself. And it should be used to achieve the goal. Purpose is to achieve the goal. All these organs should also be used to achieve the goal. Paramacharya says, Shama and Dhamma both are complementary. Both have to be controlled at the same time. It is not controlling one first and then the other. That is the point. Paramacharya quotes Bhagavan Krishna, who said in chapter 8, verse 12, Sarvadvarani samyamya manohridi nirudya cha murdhya dayatmanah pranam atito yoga dharanam. He says, Sarvadvarani samyamya means all dwaras, that is eyes, ears, etc. It is Dhamma. Manohridi nirudya cha, that is, it is Manas. That is Shama. So Bhagavan has already said this. It is not easy to control the senses, but if one sincerely takes effort, it is possible. Why Bhagavan said Dama here? Even though Kanji Parvacharya has not given the explanation directly for this verse, what I understand, Kanji Parvacharya says controlling the manas is not very easy for everybody. It is extremely difficult. Thought control is not that easy because it is subtle in nature. But controlling the organs of actions is easier than controlling the thought. Hence, first Dhamma. If one starts controlling the eyes, ears, taste, etc., slowly the manas will also come under the control at a later stage. So, start somewhere you have to start. So, you start with Dhamma, control the sense organs, organs of actions. Paramacharya again quotes Bhagavan Krishna, who said in chapter 6, verse 26, Yado yado nischaradi manas sanchalamastiram tadastado niyam yaitade atmanyeva vasham nayet. Bhagavan says, Bhagavan says, whenever and wherever, the restless and unsteady mind wanders, it will go. Nature of mind is right. That is the nature of the mind. It will be chanchala, sabala. It will be. It will go out. Bhagavan says, whenever and wherever the restless and unsteady mind goes, one should bring it back and continuously focus it on Bhagavan, Atma. That is what Bhagavan Krishna said in chapter 6, verse 26. To conclude this, even though Bhagavan said Dhamma, it will always indicate controlling both mind and sense organs. That is Shama and Dhamma. Both are included here, Dhamma. That is the point. I will add one more thing and then finish it off. In my view, as already said Paramacharya, controlling the mind is not very easy. It is difficult. Hence, a beginner like me should start with Dhamma. A crime is not a crime till it is committed by a person. Suppose if I think to steal something from my next door, from my neighbor's house, no police can come and arrest me. Why did you think like that? We will arrest you. Nobody can do that unless it is executed. Hence, thinking may not be we may not be able to control. Hence, Bhagavan says, control your action first. Dhamma. If you control your actions, now I have not committed the crime. Even though thinking also is a crime according to our Hinduism, according to Bhagavan Krishna. Because unless you control your manas, you cannot go in the path of Atma mark. So first you start, because a seeker has to start somewhere. So you start from Dhamma. I understand that because of manas only, even though I understand this, because of manas only, because of our thinking only, we are executing actions in the outside world. Even if you are not able to control the manas now, at the present level, control your actions first. That is why Dhamma. That is why I think Bhagavan is saying in this verse, even though I'm wrong in this, but my thinking is this, because Acharya has said Dhamma will include Shama also. So that is the final word. So next Deivi Sampad, we will see tomorrow. Again verses 1, 2 and 3. I am reading this Deivi Sampad verses 1, 2 and 3 because it is a Deivi Sampad. Nothing else. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Dhanam Dhamascha Yagyascha Swadhyayastabharjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodham Tyagashantirabhaishunam Daya Bhudeshvalo Luptvam Mardavam Hrirachapalam Tejashama Dridishaucham Adrogo Nadimanita भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत. हरि ओम. सर्वं कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. नारायण 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 नारायण.